Hi there. Welcome to the Yoga for Tennis Breathing Challenge, day number 5. My name is Margit Bannon, and I thank you for being a part of this challenge in honor of your desire of wanting to improve your tennis game. If you haven't yet gotten a chance to check out days 1 through 4, please check out my channel. I've created a playlist specifically for this challenge. And if you subscribe to the channel, then you can keep up with days 6 and 7, as well as practices that I release on every Tuesday for Yoga for Tennis Tuesdays. Some days we do practices on the mat, and other days we do practices out on the court. So today we'll be working with a bonus breath. I'm including it in the challenge as a bonus because I think you'll find it useful for when you need to calm yourself down, when you need to relax, perhaps after tennis to relax both the mind and the body. I'm sure you've had the experience of being overtired physically after playing a match, but oftentimes we can also feel mentally fatigued after fighting hard after a long and challenging match. I'm also calling it a bonus breath because it can be useful in many other situations as a mental break, paired with a restorative yoga pose, and even as an aid when you're having trouble sleeping. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping within a night before a large match. You have a little anxiety there. And so all you need for today's practice is a sturdy chair. You can see I have mine here, or maybe a couch where you can put your legs up. We're going to be practicing a pose called legs up the chair pose, which is a variation on legs up the wall pose. And we'll be working with a prolonged exhalation. So this is helpful in inducing relaxation. So if you were to practice this on your own for about 7 to 10 minutes would be ideal. Today you'll get a little taste for what the practice is, but then you can certainly do this on your own. Set your smartphone if you're going to do it as a practice. Obviously, if you do it in bed, you can just allow yourself to perhaps fall asleep. And so we'll be trying this in our pose today, but know that this can also be practiced in other restful postures. And so this is just one example of this bonus breath. So let's go ahead and begin. So I'm going to come off of my seat, and you see I have my chair here beside me. You might also find it helpful to have a blanket or something to pad your head if when you come to lie on the ground, you feel your head spilling backward, or if you're just simply uncomfortable. So I'm going to sit pretty close to that chair seat, and I'm going to spin my legs up the chair. Ideally, your calves are resting on the chair and you have the crook of your knees resting on the edge of this chair. And so I want to find a place of comfort here initially. Go ahead and close your eyes. We'll do a little bit of centering before we begin, a little bit of breath awareness. And so assuming you found comfort, feel the heaviness of your legs on the chair seat. Feel the heaviness of the hips, the heaviness of your torso along with the back of your head. And then feel your shoulder blades, the backs of your arms, your hands. And with your next exhalation, get a sense of allowing yourself to let go into the support beneath you. And let that exhalation be an introduction to the breath for today's practice as you begin to feel your breath without making any changes. So if you recall, day 1 of the challenge, we worked on breath awareness. That's our base. And so you'll do the same here, just becoming aware of where the breath feels present in your body. If your breath makes a sound, you might become aware of what it sounds like. And you might start to observe the quality of the breath, maybe in observing the length of the inhalations and the exhalations. Just knowing in that whatever you come to find, there's no wrong way to become aware of your breath. And so now that you're a little more aware of your breath, we'll come to practice this prolonged exhalation today. So I'd like you to go ahead and pay attention to your exhalations a little bit more. Start to follow them all the way down until you feel that slight pause before your next inhalation. Allow your inhalations to naturally occur without having to grasp for them, knowing that they will naturally come. And as you're paying attention to your exhalations, start to gradually allow them to become longer than your inhalations. Little by little, we're elongating the exhalations so that eventually the exhalations become twice as long as the inhalations. So, for example, if I inhale for a count of 2, I'm exhaling for a count of 4. It could be an inhale of 1, an exhale of 2, an inhale of 3, an exhale of 6. You catch my drift. And so start to find that breath rhythm where the exhalation is twice as long as the inhalation. And as you do, start to observe how the body and the mind begin to feel. Can you perhaps get a taste for that relaxation we're trying to create within the body? Might that allow all of the muscles in the body to let go, perhaps after a tennis practice where you've worked very hard? Allow everything to soften as you exhale, as if you're inviting this relaxation to take place or blanket the body. And so as you're beginning to find that breath rhythm where the exhale is twice as long as the inhale, let's go ahead and take 10 more breaths, just like this, silently counting backward to ourselves from 10. For example, you might say to yourself, inhaling 10, exhaling 10, inhaling 9, exhaling 9, and counting all the way back. And once you've taken your 10 breaths, no rush if you're not quite there yet, allow your breath to return back to its natural breath rhythm. You always want to take some time coming back to the awareness of your breath after any controlled breath practice. And so with that said, without making any sudden movements, I want you to go ahead and draw your knees in towards your chest a bit. Bring one arm up overhead as you roll over to the side. Again, coming up very slowly. You might pause here on your side as you press yourself up. Just really taking your time. And we'll come to sit for one moment again, just to ease or aid in the transition of wherever it is that we're going next. And so as you come to sit, feel the heaviness of your hips. Maybe sit up a little bit taller for a moment. Just reminding yourself that you're still here, you're still in your practice. And so I hope that you're beginning to feel the benefits of yoga for tennis breathing from this practice, from previous practices. Please share in the comments below what your experience has been throughout the challenge or from today's practice, if today is your first practice that you're doing with me on the breath, what questions you might have. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future practices. I'm looking forward to practicing with you and having you join our Yoga for Tennis community. Thanks for practicing with me. Namaste.